You're listening to Respawn Radio.
Okay, ready? Okay, you start. Clap.
Okay. Welcome to the first episode of Respawn Radio. Today we're going to be talking about the Xbox expansion, most specifically the Activision deal, the current state of it, and how Xbox will compete in the Asian market. But before all that, I'd like to introduce the people I'm with today in the stream. First off, I'm Kirk. You can call me Captain Kirk. My co-host is Vituini, right there. And today's guest is Dylan. Dylan is a financial analyst focused on the video game industry. So, yeah, that's all of us. Before we start with the topics at hand, the heavy-handed topics, I'd like to ask everyone, what have you guys been playing recently? Let's start with you, Brian.
Me? Okay. I just started Sonic Frontiers. That game is sick. I don't really play Sonic games. And I
You're
also
just
started playing Ni no Kuni in Japanese because I'm getting ready for Japan. Trying to work on my reading.
is
I
this,
think
is
that's it.
this the first time you played Ni no Kuni, or did you play it in the PS3?
No. I have not played Ni no Kuni. I just started playing Ni no Kuni because I heard it's easy to start playing in Japanese.
How so?
It's a kid's game, right? It has furigana, so all the kanji you can read without knowing the kanji. Easy to look up.
That's interesting. Well, what about tell me about Sonic Frontiers? Is it seems like everybody anticipated it to be like a complete failure because
Yeah.
based on the first trailers that we've seen, how does it play? How is it looking? How's it
You know,
performing?
it's pretty fun. It's I guess I don't know. I've never really played like a 3D Sonic game, but it kind of feels like you're playing like a Bayonetta game or like a DMC game. It's like very action orientated, I guess. It's
Are
real
you
fun.
serious? A Bayonetta? You're comparing it to a
It's like
Bayonetta game?
Bayonetta for real. It's like Bayonetta.
Okay,
That
that's
shit's
pretty cool.
sick.
Uh, all right. What about you, Dylan? What have you been playing recently? What's in the backlog?
So for the past 100, I think about 150 hours now, it's just been Persona 5, so P5R. So
Just been playing Persona 5 Royal.
the
Okay.
moment I finished the first 100 hours of playthrough, it was immediately New Game Plus.
So you're playing. So you're currently in New Game Plus. Which? Oh, wait, I don't want to ask which part are you in New Game Plus. But how many
Yeah,
hours are you in New Game Plus?
New Game Plus is about, so let's say it's no, it's about 50 or 45 hours in, but if I wasn't like skipping all the text and everything and basically speed running all the palaces, it's like I'm basically near the end.
Already?
So, yeah, so you could probably imagine if you've been fast forwarding the text, the game time is actually just half of what you would usually, like the time you would usually take.
Yeah, I can see that.
Awesome. I still haven't finished it because I got distracted with Pokemon, and between that, I was also playing Splatoon 3 because um there was an event for like a week whole event, or no, a weekend whole event like last month. So I got pretty sidetracked with Persona, and then once that was over, Pokemon came out, and I started playing that. I'm done with Pokemon for now, and uh I'm doing a palace in Persona at the moment, so I'm back to Persona. Another question I have for you guys is the Steam sale. The winter Steam sale is already live, by the way. If you guys are aware.
Yeah.
What are you guys planning on getting? How many games are you gonna get? Let's start with you again, Brian. You
Oh,
already, I think,
I mean that's the game. That's the game I got. Sonic. It was on
Sonic Frontier.
sale for $41. Yeah.
Um, are there any other games you want to get besides Sonic Frontiers? Maybe like some old games,
That's
cheaper
right.
games.
Nothing really. Most of the games I really want to play are like not out yet or like really old games. So uh, nothing on my radar right now for the Steam sale.
Okay. What about you, Dylan? What are you planning on getting in the winter Steam sale if you're getting any?
Oh, dude, I don't know. I have like 49 games in my wish list. Uh,
39. Give me the top
but
three that you like. You're prioritizing.
okay, I'll probably get Elden Ring and Cyberpunk just because like those have been in my backlog for the longest time. And
Holy shit.
yeah, I mean, they've been in my backlog because I've been waiting until after I upgrade my PC, right? Before playing
Ah,
it.
okay. Oh, so you haven't
And
gotten Elden Ring yet?
no, no.
Okay. And what? What were you gonna say?
And so my friend, like for Christmas, just gifted me Cult of the Lamb. So that's up also like in my up next list.
Good
That's
game. Yeah.
that's a good game. I played that on the Switch. It took me 20 hours to finish everything, but it's not like a completionist run. But yeah, I think you're gonna like it. It's a really interesting art style. But you mentioned Elden Ring, and uh, which like brings me to my next point. Uh, let's talk a bit about the VGA, the Video Game Awards. If you guys have seen it, like I
Right.
think it was
Yeah.
last month. Um, Elden Ring won Game of the Year. It's like I want to ask you, Dylan, did were you interested in Elden Ring before the Video Game Awards, or before the surrounding hype about it, or what made you want to get Elden Ring now? Besides like
Well,
waiting for your PC to upgrade.
I mean, no, I don't usually I don't usually care about game who wins game of the year unless it's a game I actually like. If it's not a game I'm a huge fan of, let's say uh well you know what I'm a fan of, right? Elder Scrolls games,
Yeah.
and the like. Then the hype kind of doesn't affect me too much. I've always wanted to play it just because, well, people always say number one, that it's good, and number two, um, I have. I mean, when I saw the gameplay, right, it didn't just look like another Dark Souls. Maybe it was just like the, let's say, magic fighting styles. So
Hmm.
I thought, it's. I mean, since I didn't like the Dark Souls games that much, but I did like Dragon's Dogma, and looking at the like magic style combat of Elden Ring, I thought it kind of reminded me of Dragon's Dogma, but like better looking, maybe also better
Hmm.
physics. So I thought, yeah, this is something I'd give a try.
The
Yeah. Oh wait, sorry. Go ahead, Brian.
the magic in Elden Ring compared to Dark Souls. I mean, like, because I never really run magic runs, but this using that shit, man, it feels so good. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, that was the other point I was gonna get to. Brian is actually one of our residents, or like I think like the Dark Souls guy here. He's played all the Dark Souls game. He's played all the Dark Souls games. Did you finish Bloodborne, Brian, or are you still trying to
I
finish
finished
that?
Bloodborne twice or three times.
Oh, you, damn, the PS3,
Yeah, on
oh
PS4.
PS4, four, sorry,
Yeah,
and that performance.
yeah, I love that game. I have to play it. So even if it's like 18 frames per second. I mean, look at Pokemon. Pokemon runs like shit. I still play that shit, man.
I don't know if it's comparable, but yeah, I guess you're right.
It's
To
comparable.
your point, Dylan, I kind of felt the same, especially when I started like watching gameplay trailers of like Elden Ring, gameplay trailers, gameplay, just basically gameplay, and then I was never really a Dark Souls guy. I played the first I played the first Dark Souls game on the Xbox 360 because it was free, for Xbox Live users, and I never got into it. It's like I thought it was kind of I thought it didn't interest me because I was expecting something like Elder Scrolls or like those
Yeah.
Western RPGs like Dragon Age, but like I can honestly say that Elden Ring is so much different than all of those games because first of all, this is my first Souls-born like game, and I got so addicted to it when it was released. Um it even made like one of our friends, Lyle, like he was bashing on it before he started playing it, right? And
Yeah.
I don't know, it's my first Dark Souls. It's my first Souls like game, and the way the way that I got hooked on it is very different from all the games I've played. Uh without saying too much, like the narrative, the story, the lore is presented differently than in like AAA Western RPGs like yun nga, uh Elder Scrolls and Dragon Age, even Mass Effect. It's not so much dialogue driven as much as it is like you have to like scour the world if you want to find if you want to find more about it, if you want to know more about the world, or you can just have some friends like Brian and Lyle to kind
Help
of
you
like
out.
tell you everything there is to
Yeah.
know about the game. But yeah, I think if you started playing Elden Ring, you're gonna have a really good time. You're
But
gonna have a you're gonna be addicted to it.
the way I feel like those games, the experience wise for RPG, like how you play an RPG with those games.
Mm.
Usually for like Western, you're playing a story they set out for you. But for these Dark Soul games and like Bloodborne and stuff, the you kind of make your own story, your own adventures. Like oh shit, do you see this? Like oh this boss just popped out of nowhere.
Yeah,
That
that
kind
like
that's it's so cool. That kind of stuff is
that's
so
one of
cool.
like the best experiences I had playing it is like I can
Yeah.
go to you can have different experiences with other people. It's like, oh, did you go to this dungeon? It's like, oh, did you see this guy? It's like, oh, I didn't fight that guy. Where was he? It's like because it's not like a narrow it's not a narrow path.
Yeah.
It's like it's like branching experiences. Like you and I will never have the same experience playing that game. I will never have the same experience playing with Brian. I will never have the same experience playing with you. That's it.
These games like legit lends itself to having like friends online or
Mm,
it's kind of like you're playing all together but not at the same time.
that makes
It's
sense.
cool.
Yeah.
I love that shit. I
And
mean,
like uh
since you've played Elden Ring, yeah, since you played Elden Ring, I would really love to see like you play Dark Souls 1 at least, like have a playthrough, because I still think that's a better game.
okay, why is it a better game than Elden Ring? What like give me some points
I
about
feel
it.
like I guess like you have different play styles, right, in Elden Ring,
Hmm.
but
Hmm.
the it's the same thing for Dark Souls, but I think Dark Souls, the first one, like the way everything's laid out, all the map design and everything is way
Hmm.
better. You probably had like an experience with like shortcut porn in these dungeons in Elden Ring. But in Dark
Hmm.
Souls 1, that shit was like masterful. That game that game is so good.
Okay, Dark Souls fanboy over here.
I know, but I mean
Um,
like I really do think you should play that game through once.
well, I think I like Elden Ring because of the freedom it
Yeah.
provides me. It's
I
like
mean, you're pretty free also.
correct. I
Yeah.
mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Elden Ring is oh no, Elden Ring is open world, right? And Dark Souls isn't. It's dungeon based,
Yeah, the only
right?
problem I think with Dark Souls is that you can't when you encounter a problem, you can't go anywhere else. You have to solve that problem right away. And I think they solved that in Elden
Uh,
Ring.
that's a problem. I was like, Isn't that like part of the challenge?
Well, you can't go anywhere and get like a super overpowered weapon, right? You already have the weapons that you've gotten through that one area.
I guess so. Okay. Well, yeah. Anyway, that's Elden Ring. You said you wanted Cyberpunk, right? What made you want to get Cyberpunk? Is it because you just waiting for your PC to upgrade, Jed?
Yeah, yeah. That's basically it. I mean, it is CD Project Red.
That's what I said at first, but then yeah, I
Yeah,
guess
but I mean, like all my friends who only started playing it now,
Hmm.
and I also have friends who tried playing it at launch and then stopped and then picked it up again now. They all say that it's really good now, and
Yeah.
the reviews
Okay.
do say that.
Do you know anything about like the game at all? Like, have you been reading up on it, like watching stuff about it?
Uh, no. So what actually like threw it or like moved it up of my like of my backlog or of my up next list
Mhm.
was the Netflix anime. Damn, that shit was good.
That
I
shit was
really enjoyed
good.
that. So like, and that was actually one of the reasons why I decided to upgrade my PC already. So right after I watched that anime, I just on a whim I asked my friend whether or not he's gonna upgrade his PC this year. He said, "Yeah, I'm actually going to PC Hub next weekend." So just like that, I was like, "Ah, shit! All right, me too.
Bet.
Let's go together."
Yeah.
I
Damn.
mean, yeah, like it performs well now, Brian.
Yeah.
Um,
I played it.
I
Yeah.
I tested I tested my 3070, but I think I'm still being bottlenecked by the rest of my parts, but it runs really well.
It's great.
Um,
Yeah.
it's a gorgeous game. It was hampered by technical issues at first,
Yeah.
but then like no, I don't wanna say
Don't say
anything about it.
anything. Yeah.
I just
Don't,
I want you to I want to hear your I want you to hear your your form conclusions once you started playing it. But like when it first launched, I played it at launch and then I never stopped. I never stopped. I just continued it like 80 hours. I think I played it for 80 hours and I finished the main like one of the I finished the main story and only got one ending. But since my PC is pretty souped up now, I think I'm gonna go for the other endings and replay it. Yeah.
yeah.
Is
Games.
that is that it? You're only gonna get Elden Ring and Cyberpunk and the Steam Winter Sale. I think they're pretty low right now.
I don't know. I'm still browsing.
Um, I haven't talked about what I was gonna get. I'm thinking of getting I'm thinking of getting the that game, Marvel Midnight Suns.
Oh, but they say it's
They
bad
say
though.
who said it was bad? It has a lot of good reviews.
Does it?
Yeah.
I think the game is
Well,
good. People are complaining about
don't
the
take my word for it.
microtransactions.
There are
Oh,
microtransactions?
That's why I heard some bad microtransaction stuff.
I think they're all just cosmetic items.
Mm.
It is pretty expensive though. Like it's not on sale, but
Andy.
it just came out, right?
it
Yeah.
just came out. But one thing I'm getting on sale is Evil West. Do you guys know that game?
Ooh, yeah. I'm down to play that too.
It's fun. It's really interesting. I think it was published by the people of. Wait, I'm not sure. I think it's published by the people who made Greedfall, or they just no who published Greedfall. Sorry,
Oh, okay.
Was
Well,
it
it's not the
Spider
devs.
or
I think it was developed by Spider.
Oh,
Isn't Greedfall published by Focus?
I'm not too sure.
Not
The
sure.
only thing I know about the game is that like it looks like a sick ass
Focus?
like
Yeah.
Xbox
Focus.
360 game.
It does remind me a bit of like that era of I know
Yeah.
Xbox 360 PS3 era game. It's interesting. It looks funny. The combat looks amazing, and you know me, I really like boss battles and stuff.
I love
And
boss battles, man.
based from like the gameplay I've seen, I also want to get the Judgment games. because I made it a point that I'm not gonna play the main Yakuza series. I'm just gonna play the spin-offs of it. So I played Yakuza. Have you played like Yakuza Like a Dragon, Dylan? By the way, I have to ask you that.
No, I haven't played any Yakuza games, but it is in the backlog too. Dude, I have
Oh
a
my,
massive backlog.
dude,
You
you
have
can
Game Pass, right?
start
Yeah,
with Like a
because I have
Dragon.
Game Pass.
It's fine.
Fucking
Okay,
Like a
I'll start with
Dragon.
Like a Dragon.
Yakuza Like a Dragon is crazy good because it's not like the mainline like Yakuza games. I fucking love that game. It's one of my favorite planes. It's one of the favorite games I played last year. And the Judgment series looks interesting because it's a different perspective than like the other Yakuza games. And what's that new Yakuza game coming up, Brian? It's also a
Is
spin-off.
it
Like it's
Ishin?
set in like
Yeah,
like a Ishin or something. Is
yeah.
it called
It's
like
like
a Ishin?
it's a remake of the PS2 like samurai Yakuza games.
Oh, it's a remake. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's set in like that era of like feudal Japan.
It's like during I think Nobunaga's time. You know when he started getting guns and shit during that
That's
time.
why they had guns in the gameplay.
Yeah. Oh, like what's it called? You know, Samurai X, right? During that time, like, you know, guns are coming up.
Ah,
Yeah.
interesting. What's that new game coming out? Is it a main line Yakuza
Oh,
game?
that's mainline. Yeah, it's from the Like a Dragon series. Well, it's called Like a Dragon
Ah,
now. Yeah.
so it's still Ichiban.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ichiban was in the trailer.
Ichiban. Yeah. Yeah. You know what's funny is that Like a Dragon is just a Japanese name. I don't like.
Why? Isn't that confusing?
It's not. I mean, it's just weird that I don't know. From like Yakuza One from the PS2 era, it's always been called like a dragon in Japan.
Like a dragon in
Yeah,
Japan. But then the US ports of the Yakuza series
I've
is
always
just
been
called
Yakuza.
Yakuza.
Yeah.
But then like the port of this spin-off is called Like a Dragon.
Well, I think it's just because like a dragon was like a fresh reboot, a new main character and stuff, right?
I hope the gameplay, like the new, it's called Like a Dragon 2, right? Or is it
Yeah.
Yakuza 8?
No. So how it is, the normal Yakuza combat from like the PS2 era is gonna be
Mhm.
on the Judgment series, and then
Okay.
the Dragon Quest like
Ah,
combat from like a dragon is gonna be the main series now.
that's awesome. I still
Yeah,
want that.
yeah. Like a Dragon's the
Uh,
best Dragon Quest game, man. The best Dragon Quest game.
Dragon Quest. He is a fan of Dragon Quest.
Yeah,
Okay. So
those
yeah,
games are
that's
good.
like everybody's caught up. Let's start. Um, let's start like the most serious topics now. Are we? The first is the first I want to bring up is like one of the most polarizing topics in the video game industry at the moment, and it is Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard. Now, the current state of it is Microsoft is being sued by the FTC. Uh, simply put, because uh, Microsoft is getting dangerously close to becoming a monopoly.
Yeah.
I know, Brian, you're opposed to monopolies,
Yep.
and I want to hear your thoughts about that later. But I wanna, I want a more technical perspective. If you say
Yeah.
like, so like from an economical standpoint and financial standpoint, Dylan, can you tell me your personal thoughts on the ABK Microsoft deal at the moment?
Uh, well, honestly, it's quite difficult for me to be unbiased
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
because I do own Microsoft stock.
Mm-hmm.
With that said, there's this so see Just Van Droynen, I think that's how you
Mm-hmm.
pronounce it.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's like so he's a college professor of a like video games and video game industry economics class, as well as an industry advisor. He has this newsletter that I subscribe to. He also has a podcast that I listen to.
Hmm, that's interesting.
And his take on it is basically, I've developed my own stance from what he said about it. And I honestly don't think it would be a threat to competition um, if Microsoft were to get Activision Blizzard. I mean, just like the most obvious concern, right, or the number one concern really is them potentially making Call of Duty an Xbox
Exclusive.
slash Game Pass exclusive,
Mm-hmm.
which they've already said they wouldn't do. Right? I
Hmm.
mean, they've already said that. Look, we want to do with Call of Duty the same thing we've done with Mojang with Minecraft.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Basically on everything.
Yeah.
And that would be in the best, I think that would be in the best interest of Microsoft because if,
Yeah.
I mean, Activision right now is very valuable for many reasons, right? COD is one of them. King is another reason. But with COD, right, turning it into an Xbox exclusive would just be making it less valuable of an acquisition.
Hmm.
It would make the title less valuable, knowing that Xbox is a smaller install base. Game Pass isn't that widespread yet, which is mind-boggling for me. Just based on the price, right? The price to value
Yeah.
there.
Especially in the Philippines.
Exactly. So yeah, I genuinely believe them when they say no, we're not going to make this an exclusive. And then number two, they keep talking about how listen, we want Activision Blizzard mostly kind of to help our push into mobile because of King, right? That's what they're talking about, and I can believe that. And but on one of the points that Yusuf Joyner points out is that um, like if Microsoft were to acquire Activision Blizzard King, it would actually be good for the mobile games industry, which is already like the biggest portion of consumer spend across all of game, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like mobile gets the biggest chunk of it. So if that were the case, right, then there would be a third party, right, outside of Apple and outside of Google, who would actually be a force to be reckoned with, and who could kind of have like or have more bargaining power on the side of the devs and publishers when it comes to mobile. Because right now, parang all of the bargaining power is consolidated by both Apple and Google, right? If you don't pay us our 30%, you're off the store.
Yeah.
Um, so parang they're saying that if Microsoft were to be able to enter right mobile space, parang then devs and publishers would then have someone who's big enough to represent their interests as well.
Okay. But then from that point, the biggest the biggest players in the mobile market are Apple and Google, right? Well, they have
Mm,
their own proprietary devices. Apple has the iPhones.
mhm.
Google has the Samsung phones or any other phone, like, but then using any other phone that's
That uses the
using
OS.
the US that uses the Android OS. Um, how will Microsoft enter how will Microsoft enter the market if they don't if like th- if they don't even have like a proprietary device for them to market? It's just them entering their own games. If the Activision deal does fall through, it's just them entering the mobile market as publishers and as developers. They're still going to be paying the 30%.
Yeah. Towards
No.
Apple.
So what they're talking about, um, which is also a point of parang regulatory scrutiny
Mm.
for Apple and Google, are third-party stores, um, which is I think this is what Epic was fighting for as well before,
Yeah.
right? But they lost. But I think this time, so the Epic lost because um, No, I just don't like Epic, right? But
But then Epic lost. Like Epic was fighting against it because they don't want to be paying the 30%. Is that correct?
Yeah.
yes, yeah.
And then Apple is stopping them from selling microtransactions through the Epic Store. I don't know.
No,
They removed it. Yeah.
yeah,
Gone.
what happened there is that Epic basically implemented a way for
To buy.
Fortnite mobile players to buy uh, whatever you call their currency,
To, bu-
their credits outside
ah,
of the App Store by routing you to the website, I think,
Yeah.
on your browser. So like
Yeah.
from in-game, you buy currency, you get routed to like Safari or whatever, like your phone browser, and then you
Yeah.
so
buy
they're
from there.
bypassing Apple. Okay.
Yeah, and then so Apple and Google took Fortnite out of the App Store.
Mm-hmm.
So suddenly no one could play Fortnite mobile.
Fortnite.
Yeah.
Yeah, on Apple devices.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then Epic was like, well, we wanted to do that because 30% is way too much. Look at us, we only charge whatever. I think it's 20. Does
20.
Epic only charge 20%? And they're
Ah, okay.
saying look at us, we're only charging 20 and uh like we're doing okay. So that means Apple and Google don't need to charge 30 to be okay. Like it
Okay.
like
But they
their
lost.
business wouldn't crumble. Yeah, but they lost.
They lost.
But
Yeah.
since like ever since them losing, right? The regulatory scrutiny over the mobile app stores, because it's basically a duopoly, right? Has
Yeah.
continued.
It is.
And I think just recently, I've been seeing headlines. I think Apple is now opening up to um, the possibility of third-party app stores.
Oh.
So the I think the idea is that Microsoft wants to make like a mobile Game Pass. I mean, I think there's already an app for it, right? But I think the app right now isn't
Mobile
its own
friendly.
third party store.
Okay.
I'm not too sure. I mean, I don't I
It
actually don't
is
have the Game Pass app on my phone.
it is in PC Game Pass. It acts as its own store. Oh wait, no.
Yeah.
Mm.
But then it redirects me to the Microsoft store every time I try to I want to buy something.
Oh, really?
Well, have you tried buying something from the Xbox Game Pass app?
No, sorry, hello.
Cool.
But
Okay,
no, I mean, if I ever see P5R in the leaving soon list,
you're gonna
then I'll buy something.
it'll be there for a while. But okay,
but
so
but
you
yeah,
said
and it's that if you look at like actual statistics of um, the competitiveness of the gaming industry, right? You would see that now more than ever, it's most competitive in terms of. So this is what I was saying earlier. In terms of how much of the total video game industry consumer spend is spread across different companies. So to give like to just give an idea of what I mean by that, and I'm getting this from like a paper that like a short paper that used had published. So comparing the split of total video game industry revenues from 2002 to 2020 21 to 2021.
Mhm.
Uh, so here he listed. So the size of the largest individual game companies based on revenue, right? So the top 10 video game companies had combined revenues of what is this 22.8 this billion, yeah,
22.8 top 10 gaming companies.
yeah, in 2002, right?
2002?
Yeah, 2002. It was
Okay.
at 22.8, and in 2021 the top 10 video game companies had basically 150. So that was
It was
like
a different time.
6.6 times
So it grew.
6.6x multiple. Yeah. So the top
Because
10 gaming companies made 23 billion in 2002, and then the top 10 video game companies made 150 billion in 2021.
are these the same top 10 companies from 20?
No, it's the top
No,
the
this
top of
yeah.
So
each
it
specific
changes.
year. Yeah.
Okay.
So, for example, put that in contrast with the top one gaming company in 2002. I believe it was Sony. Yeah,
Sony was the top two in 2020.
they made
2000.
7.5 billion. In 2021, it was Tencent, and Tencent made 33 billion. So while the top 10 gaming company revenues increased by 6.6x, um, the top one only increased by 3.8. So the
Oh.
top five naman was somewhere in the middle of that. So what I'm
Mhm.
saying is the share or like consolidation has actually been decreasing, which is easy to believe because
Yeah.
just think about how games are distributed now compared to before, right?
Yeah.
Before there was a lot of trust issues that had to be built up between retailers and publishers, right?
Yeah.
Like if you were a startup publisher, why would a GameStop bargain with you? They wouldn't give you great prices, things like that. And now all you need is Steam. All
All
you
you
need is
need, like,
Epic.
I think, like, it has something to do with being more accessible to people,
Yeah.
Yep.
more accessible to
Yeah.
consumers.
Because yeah, for real.
Okay.
So like
Yeah.
I guess like the installed user base now is like a lot bigger than before. Also, right? You got to consider that, right?
Mhm.
Dang, thinking on the spot is actually really hard for me.
No, that's fine.
You come back to me.
Okay,
Okay.
well,
Well, one thing I wanted to point out also, right? Um, the it it wouldn't make sense, I think, for so the concern is right. Either Microsoft would make Call of Duty exclusive to the Xbox console or exclusive to the Game Pass.
mhm.
I think it wouldn't make sense to make it exclusive to the Xbox console because what
Doesn't make
would
sense.
that do, right? That it would compel users to purchase an Xbox console, but we already know that these platform holders, so Xbox, Sony, I'm not sure if Nintendo does the same thing. I think they do, but they treat the console and games product as
A
like
loss.
the razor and blade model, right? You make losses on the console, you make up for it with the games.
The games, yeah.
So what? It's like, why would you try and get a bigger install, right? So the concern would be, would they make it exclusive naman to Game Pass? I don't think they would. I mean,
I
maybe they'll add perks, right? If you play COD through the Game Pass, maybe you
Yeah,
have some perks,
definitely. Yeah.
just like what
that's
we're seeing with the Riot partnership.
that's no. That's what Sony is doing with COD right now. Like, they're not making Call of Duty exclusive to the console per se, but they are giving
Incentives to play it
PlayStation
on
uh,
a
The
PlayStation.
Place- PlayStation owners, like, they're giving PlayStation owners perks and incentives, so they would prefer to play it on the PlayStation. That's what they do because I think, like, Sony doesn't have the money to actually, or they don't want to to have exclusive rights to distributing COD to their consoles. And that's what I think about this Activision deal because it's kind of baseless. Why is FTC getting involved and in the like fighting for the interest of other companies instead of fighting for the interest of consumers?
Exactly, and it seems like consumers all want
I
either
don't
they
know.
don't care or they want it to go through. At
Yeah, I
least
mean,
that's what I see from my
No.
perspective,
Yeah.
right? But my perspective is all about
what? Because the thing, I I'm not I'm not speaking like I'm not speaking as an Xbox owner as like I owned the first Xbox, the original Xbox, and then I got the Xbox 360. I'm not biased when I say that Xbox should get Activision Blizzard. The main reason why I want it, even though the main reason why I want Xbox to get Activision is to get it away from Bobby Kotick as much as possible. Even though I know Bobby Kotick will get a huge pay
payout.
after all this is done,
Mhm.
I don't want to support any product that has him in it. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
based on principle, like from what I can see. And
It's a piece of shit. Yeah.
um like what Brian said a while ago, before we started the stream, these corporations, Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, they're not your friends. Um, and they're doing it. Like their priority is making bank.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to hear Brian's perspective if you're
I'm
if you
ready.
have
It's kind of
no, if
hard,
you have some
you
thoughts on
know.
it.
I do have some thoughts just because like a lot of these companies maybe because right now maybe they're doing good getting the goodwill of the people, right? But let's say maybe in the future, like if they do need like if they like not just Blizzard, let's say in the future they buy what haven't they bought yet? Like is it EA? Do they own EA yet or no?
Xbox, I think they have a partnership with
Oh,
EA.
yeah, just a partnership.
God damn, what the fuck? What do they not own? uh, I guess let's go with EA. Let's say
Mhm.
you. Oh, that's not a good. That's not a good. What's it called? Um, analogy because those games suck. Fuck. Okay, I guess
But
like.
they okay, what?
Oh no, you can go first. I'm still collecting my thoughts.
No, I mean it's still a good it's still a good example because EA has one of the biggest multiplayer games right now, isn't it? Apex Legends.
Oh
It's
yeah,
under EA,
Apex.
right?
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like if
yeah.
I mean it, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know if EA is planning to get bought because I think EA is also trying to grow
Wait,
their.
I think didn't it try to sell this year, or was it trying
EA
to acquire someone else? I think it was up for sale, but
EA
no one
was up for
bid.
sale. No one wanted to buy EA.
I'm not sure. I think it was this year. It might have just been rumors, but like a lot of these rumors that I come across usually end up being not just rumors. So, for example, shit I see from Reuters.
Yeah.
For example, the let's say was it Ubisoft? Uh,
Ubisoft trying to get bought.
no, so Tencent like upped their stake, um,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
like a couple days before it happened,
That shit's scary to
there
me.
were
Fuck.
rumor articles coming out,
Yeah.
um, which is well, I don't know, fine by me. I like Tencent, but
Really?
um,
Okay. Really, legit the
wait,
opposite.
I'm gonna save that question for later. But Brian's fear is Xbox becoming a monopoly in the video game industry.
Like
What do you
Disney.
think the
Yeah.
trajectory? Yeah, I want to ask you guys. What do you think the trajectory will be for Xbox if the Activision Blizzard deal falls through? You said it wouldn't make a dent in the video game industry because it's
wait,
right
falls
now.
through or goes through?
Goes through.
No, goes through. Sorry. Right now, right now, the video game industry, according to what you stated, is competitive more than ever. How will it affect competition? Will it not affect competition once Xbox gets one of the biggest gaming
Publishers.
companies in the world?
Companies, yeah.
I'm not so concerned because like there's this analysis that so size of let's say the top gaming companies based on revenues.
Hmm.
Based-
Um, so I think right now Sony is still number one, just because Tencent got into some problems, right? With Chinese lockdown, Chinese government crackdown on the gaming industry. I don't know if you know about that, but in China,
Yeah, what
like
about
if
it?
you're a minor, you can't play video games during the weeknights, and on the weekends it's actually limited
Yeah,
game
it
time,
is.
like a
Yeah.
couple
Wait a
hours.
minute. How how are they tracking that?
You have to put
Your
your ID.
accounts.
Yeah, or some shit like
Yeah,
that.
you have to
You
use
have to
an
prove
ID to
it
create an online game account
Wait, where?
on the
in
sign up.
mainland China.
Yeah, China.
Oh, mainland
Wait a
China.
minute. China, is Steam available in China?
I don't think
I
so.
don't know.
I don't think so.
So they'll know if you're online. What if you play games offline?
So like how some kids tried to get around that was number one, they'd use
VPN.
their parents' accounts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um, But then Chinese government would be like, hey, if you let your kid do this, that's kind of bad parenting. But anyway, like Chinese government thinks that parang video games are the new opium of the masses, right?
Are they making it illegal? What did
No,
what did they do to the
no.
kids?
So the burden of parang ensuring that the kids aren't able to bypass these rules kind of fell on the
Parents.
gaming companies,
Oh, really?
because if you're a gaming company, right, and you have a bunch of kids parang skirting these time restrictions on your games, but the Chinese government could make it your fault,
Oh
penalize
my
you,
god.
or you find
They're not even taking accountability of their own laws. They're letting someone
Well,
else.
how can they, right? How
Yeah.
can they? So parang I think I can remember now one of the I don't remember if it was Tencent or someone else, but they were saying that we're gonna do like verification. So like when you log into the game, it's gonna use the camera to see if it's the same person with the ID registered who's actually playing the game,
Yeah.
right?
That's ridiculous.
But anyway, so I think if the Microsoft Activision deal goes through, I think Microsoft would go from top 5 to top 3,
They
or
will.
top 5 to top 4, and Sony will still stay, I think, number 1.
Number one.
So, parang, like what it looks like is Sony's just punching down, right? Sony's trying to make sure that nobody else gets close to being as big as they are.
Yeah, I don't get Sony's fucking stance on this shit. It's ridiculous.
That's okay. I think I think Sony the way Sony is fighting this deal is that it's making it seem like they don't want to compete. They just want to keep their spot. So they're hindering everyone from taking that spot.
Exactly. So parang the fear, right, is that if Microsoft becomes a monopoly, if Microsoft gets too big, they can raise the prices on their games and no one would be able to do anything about it. But that's what Sony's doing.
That's
Yeah,
what's
that's what
that
Sony's
that
doing.
Sony was
Raising
accusing
prices.
Microsoft is doing what
Yeah.
they're doing. That's so
Exactly.
weird.
And
They were
then
the first ones to do so.
yeah, and plus parang Sony has I think 3 or either 5 or 20 times more install base than the Xbox, and like
Yeah.
5 or 20 times more console exclusives than the Xbox does. So parang how could you be worried about like the potential for Microsoft being a monopoly when clearly the giant, or the number one, is League's ahead? Um, but I do think it is a valid concern. The thing about consolidation, and I have to say, by this I mean consolidation not to the extent of creating monopolies, right? Just
Mhm.
consolidation in the sense of um, inefficient businesses, unsuccessful businesses, but with good products or with a fan base, or whatnot, with a market. The only way for them to survive, if they're not good enough businesses on the, let's say, on the financial front, right, would be to get bought out. I mean,
Mhm.
if Activision Blizzard doesn't get bought out and then it's a financial stank because people like yourself don't want to support anything with Bobby Kotick in it, um, paano na si COD? Would the market be better off if COD suddenly couldn't survive? If King couldn't survive, if Blizzard couldn't survive? It's probably an exaggeration. I don't think
Yeah. 'Cause
Activision Blizzard is in financial distress anyway.
I was
But
about to say, are they? I don't think they are. I think they could definitely last
no, I
without
don't think so.
Xbox.
So
Yeah.
they were definitely doing better before this year.
Hmm.
So 2021, and I think even pre-pandemic, they were doing better than they are now. But that's due to a lot of factors, right? Overwatch 2 wasn't performing very well like upon launch, right?
There are a lot.
Like the last, well, not the most recent, but like the some previous WoW expansions were really bad though.
Yeah. For real.
They
for real.
remade. What did they remake, Brian? That
Uh,
WoW game that they
so
remade.
they did WoW Classic,
Okay,
which is
that
catching
didn't
up to
perform.
WoW.
Wait, what do you mean? Ah,
They're also adding expansions, so eventually.
oh my God, they're still supporting that?
Well, it's a new thing, right? It's WoW Classic.
Okay.
Why don't you just
But
go
Well,
people
play
still
a
play
private
WoW.
server?
But
I
yeah,
was
in this sense, it might not be financial distress, right? But let's say just terrible culture,
Yeah,
terrible
right?
management. But
Yeah. So
they fired most of the people involved in the scandal, right?
but
I don't know.
the
I'm not
ones that
sure
are
actually.
public, because I
Yeah.
legit
But culture goes a
don't
long
trust.
way. Corporate
I,
culture goes a long
yeah,
way.
I don't know if I can
Just that
trust most places, to be honest.
I don't trust, like, especially how it went public with like how people went public. Um, I don't trust Activision Blizzard to stay as independent as they are now. But I wanted to ask you guys. I read somewhere that Activision Blizzard actually approached Microsoft to get bought out. Why did they want to get bought out? Because like if they're doing like you said, if they are doing good, why did they want this deal? Why do they want this deal to go through now?
This would be all
And why
speculation,
Microsoft?
though. I guess this would be all speculation because we don't know the full story.
Yeah, but then like we've seen statements from Activision Blizzard,
Yeah,
being like, well,
being
like
bought out. Yeah,
it kind of indicates that they want to be bought out, especially from
Yeah, they do. They
like,
definitely
yeah.
do.
yeah. But why do you think they want to get bought out? Is it like a
Well, of
work
course, there's
culture
a
thing,
payout, right?
Yeah.
management thing?
There's a payout for
So
shareholders.
do you think? So when you say that, do you think it's actually the shareholders who voted for this thing to push through?
I think that's definite,
Well,
actually.
who else? I mean, a
Yeah.
company is shareholders, right?
Oh, yeah.
Were was this stock for Activision Blizzard tanking before this announcement, before the Activision Blizzard deal was announced?
So it started tanking, I think, middle of last year, but still when the scandals were coming out, right?
Mhm.
Um, it started tanking, and then it the acquisition proposal was at a premium to the stock price at the time of the acquisition announcement,
Hmm.
and it's fallen even further since then. So you know what I mean? Right now, so wait, how much is it? 69 billion. The
69
price
billion
that,
steel.
yeah, and then right now, let's see, ATPI market cap. Right now, Activision Blizzard is just worth 60. Um,
Share.
so you know what I mean. If it doesn't go through, I mean that could be a reason for it to fall further, diba? So
Oh.
if you're Activision Blizzard stakeholders, but you have someone who's trying to buy you out for a higher price than you're currently worth on the market right now.
Mhm.
Of course, you would be happy if the deal goes through. But on the company side, I think so. Activision, and in my opinion, correctly so, thinks that they would be better off under Microsoft because one, and yeah, management, whether or not the corporate culture really does get shaken up, there could be that market perception that it is.
Mhm.
They probably think that, oh, I think customers would prefer that we be under Microsoft instead of an independent toxic publisher, right?
Yeah. Nothing as bad
Uh,
as coming out yet. We don't really know how
Yeah,
the
about
culture
Microsoft.
is, but nothing has come out.
Microsoft.
Yeah. Who
yeah.
knows? Maybe they will
Plus,
Well,
eventually.
the new management of Microsoft.
yeah,
Yeah.
plus, so the thing about games industry is that it's hard because games are hit driven, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Like the first innovative business models probably came from EA with EA Sports, and then 2K with um, you know with the sports games, because every year you have a new game. You don't even have to change it up that much, but people will still
Yeah.
buy it. So you
Yeah.
get this predictable cash flow that can support your more let's say, adventurous endeavors, right? Maybe you want to work on a new IP AAA title,
Mhm.
which could take you like what 5 to 6 years of production. So for 5 to 6 years, you're just sinking money on the development of that new game. But in those 5 to 6 years, every year you get these cash flows from predictable games. So it's either those annual sports games or it could be live service online games,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
So for Activision Blizzard, right, to be under Microsoft, they can basically get this financial support that's independent of gaming, because Microsoft would have these cash flows coming in from all these different
All sorts of
sources, right?
things. Yeah.
OS, Office, data,
Cloud software.
cloud, yeah.
I
So
think
Servers. Yeah.
even
it's
Sony
safer
is
for you
using
to, to have like a
Sony.
parent, a rich parent,
It's
right?
it's it's funny because Sony is also using Microsoft Azure, I think, as one of their cloud uh as one of their cloud servers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They,
well, if you're a tech company, you have to diversify anyway. You can't just use one cloud provider.
yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that's like unsafe business practices.
What
Look
do
at
you think?
Apple. Look at using Samsung screens.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. I'm not sure it was the
That's
12
funny.
or the one before it. It's one of those. I think 11 was the Samsung screen. One of those OLEDs.
um, I got another question to bring up. Sony Sony right now doesn't want the deal to go through, right?
Mhm.
Um, and for and Microsoft is trying to sweet talk, like, trying to be the good guy in the situation, trying to give Sony what they want or what
Yeah.
they think Sony wants. Sony is only fighting for Call of Duty.
Yeah.
They don't want Call of Duty to be part of the Xbox ecosystem,
Yeah.
because even if Microsoft doesn't make it exclusive to Xbox, they're still gonna make money off of PlayStation installs, basically, and then the microtransactions. Sony doesn't want to pay Microsoft. Um, Sony doesn't
Okay.
want to keep paying for Microsoft, yeah, a cut every
Yeah.
time someone installs or buys microtransactions for Call of Duty. With the way things are now, with FTC suing Xbox, do you think Sony will get all the concessions, including a 10-year deal for Call of Duty to remain on PlayStation? Do you think Xbox will keep those concessions for Sony, or will they just, like, you know what? You keep fucking us over. You prolong us deal too much. I'm gonna take everything away. Are they well within their rights to do that? What do you think?
I don't think they should. But
Shouldn't.
honestly,
Definitely.
if I was Microsoft, if I were Microsoft, I would, just to be like petty,
Yeah.
um, right?
I th-
But I wish they
Knowing
would.
Microsoft, that'd be so fucking funny if they did that, though, because it's just one console. Didn't Microsoft come out that they're planning to release Call of Duty in Nintendo? And I know
Yeah,
a lot of
I,
people are saying that
that
parang,
is funny to me though.
like, oh, how would you run COD on Nintendo? It's like, well, I don't know. How do you run COD on mobile devices? How do you run COD on phones? So maybe they'll give the mobile version of COD to Nintendo, or maybe Nintendo comes out with a new console, a more powerful console. Who knows? Next year.
Nintendo is a good spot, like you don't really see them as competition, dude.
Yeah, like, I think Nintendo, even though they're
Nintendo
not
just does their own thing.
Yeah.
the top one, because they publish and develop their own games.
Yeah.
Mm.
But then, like, and then, like, Nintendo's spot is like every publisher, every developer wants to be part of the Nintendo ecosystem, and then
Mhm.
Nintendo's just happy taking all of them. But that's a different story. Now, um, I want to talk about uh after this Activision Blizzard deal. I want to know I want to know your predictions for Xbox next year, regarding the Activision Blizzard deal, both of you.
Mm.
Next year. I don't think much will happen next year. I think it will happen within the after like 5 or 10 years.
The Activision
Yeah,
Blizzard deal.
it'll
Yeah.
take a long time.
Yeah.
Like
I don't think.
most,
Yeah.
yeah. My biggest prediction, or what I think would be most likely to happen, is that it gets denied and they appeal,
Mhm.
and then it just drags on for a longer time.
How long do you think this settlement, I mean this dispute will take 5 to 10 years?
I think it'll take at least 3 to 4. 'Kay, American system. Well, it might take more than 4, maybe 5 years. The American justice system is pretty fucking like slow, man.
Really? Even with these big corporations?
Mm. It depends on like who fights back, right, or who like repeals appeals or whatever. Might take a
Oh,
while.
God. So it's gonna take a while for me to play Activision Blizzard games again.
You, I guess, yeah, I guess so. You got your principles, right? Everyone got your
I was pl-
principles.
I was planning to fucking play Diablo 4 when it comes out.
Well, give
That's one of my most anticipated
maybe
games.
Kotick that money, man. More money to spend
Oh
on
my
the,
God.
on women, I guess.
I don't want him there anymore.
Yeah,
So that's what you're predicting. You think this thing will either drag on. But do you
it
think the
already is kinda.
FTC has a credible lawsuit against Microsoft right now?
In terms of like, I guess like the market in America, not in terms of gaming or anything, it has a chance. You know, because
It has
if
a
it's
chance to fall.
partnership with EA and it's gonna buy out Activision Blizzard, it's gonna own so many properties, dude. But I don't get why they're so focused on Microsoft when Disney's doing the same shit, but with like movies and like IPs and shit.
Oh, so yeah, there was like some commentary I read about that. The difference
Yeah,
is that Monopoly watchdogs in the US, they have this obsession with this idea of platforms. So
yeah.
Disney doesn't have a platform.
Hmm.
Disney Plus is barely a platform, right?
No,
The
barely. Yeah.
difference is that
Um,
Microsoft has a platform, which is the Xbox, right? So it's the same reason that these regulators are really scrutinizing Apple. They're really scrutinizing Google, right? Because to
yeah,
them, platforms are app stores and OSs.
yeah,
Platforms are consoles.
So no wonder why they're focusing too much on this Microsoft deal.
Yeah, basically anything that if you own, you can get like a commission of someone else's work.
And they
it's
don't want
crazy.
that at all.
They're wary of that. They want to limit the power that platform holders have.
Hold, yeah,
It's just that's the issue.
That's the issue because they see Microsoft as a platform holder, which they
yeah.
are.
They
Which
are,
they are.
yeah.
That's the thing. That as a platform, the Xbox is
Hmm.
weak. It's second banana. It's it's a fighter.
Yeah.
It's trying to punch up, and
Exactly.
and
You see-
it seems like they're already giving up on that strategy. They realize, look, in terms of console, we just can't beat Sony. So let's
That's what I said.
go software, right? Let's go Game Pass. Let's put Game Pass on everything, anything, and everything.
Yeah.
That's that's what I said last time because Xbox isn't trying to compete with Sony with hardware sales anymore.
Yeah, they
They wanna
realize they
create
can't win.
their own they want to create their own path. So they went with games as a service, which I think isn't even the first iteration of it. I think Nvidia did this, right, Brian?
It's not really. It's what Nvidia did was like streaming the games you already own.
GeForce Now.
Yeah,
Ah,
GeForce Now.
wait, that was GeForce Now?
Yeah.
And didn't they have their own platform? It was like a screen with like a controller in it.
Oh yeah, it's
Nvidia.
not a platform. It's not like you
It's
bought
a
those games
Barely
on
a
there.
platform.
It's
it's a
what's it
streaming
called?
device.
It's a streaming
It's a game
device.
streaming
Yeah.
device. How was that?
Apparently it was good. I heard good things.
Okay, but they
I heard the
stopped it
Logitech
though.
one. No, it's not. You didn't stop it. You can still get one, right?
That's awesome.
I think so.
But then I
But
don't
I
think
think I heard the Logitech one was better than the new Logitech Cloud something. I
the
heard that
cloud
one's good.
gaming device. So it's also a game streaming device.
Yeah. Even the Steam Deck is a game streaming device.
It can stream games.
Yeah, you can stream games
Yeah.
from Steam to your phone right now.
Oh, I did that. Not on my phone, but I did it on the TV. What's
Yeah,
that Steam? I know
the Steam
feature.
box. Oh yeah,
Steam, no, not Steambox.
I
It's like
forgot.
you
It's
Big
open.
picture mode.
something. Yeah, well, the
No,
big
the
picture
other one,
mode
the
thing.
other one. It's kind of like big picture mode.
I forget.
It's like Steam Stream. I don't know.
Yeah, something like
But I
that.
streamed it on the TV, but it has a delay. It
It
was
does.
okay.
You need to
It
upgrade
looked
your
okay.
what's it called? Your router needs to be upgraded. That's all you really need.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah,
So it is viable,
it's
like game
viable.
streaming in the Philippines.
It's game streaming from your PC to you, probably, yeah. But
To my TV, it's fine.
game streaming from a
From
cloud
data,
is not.
Yeah, from a data center.
That's
Fuck
From
that
someone
shit.
else's
That
data
shit
center.
will never work. I don't have fiber yet. I live in fucking the Bay Area.
But then fiber is readily available in America, right?
No, it's not. I don't have fiber.
Oh my god. Wait, we have fiber.
Yeah, I have cable. You gotta realize, at least because you're not here, that the Bay Area is divided in the Bay. Like there's bridges gapping everything, so it's hard
Okay,
to
that
get
makes sense.
data lines everywhere.
Then I guess like America is like they're not all like congested like the
It's too big.
Philippines. Like we're not all stuck.
Hold on,
together.
I'll take a toilet
Yeah.
break. But
I
Okay, go ahead.
you guys keep going, please.
We'll just shoot the shit.
yeah. Okay.
All right, so I just wanna. I think we're done for today. We've we got a lot of insight from like an industry expert in Dylan.
I'm not an
And-
industry expert. Actually, kind of just a correction, right? So my professional, I guess, focus, or like my focus at work, isn't the games industry.
Oh,
It's like a personal focus, right? But
Personal
work wise, yeah, work wise, it's not like
you're focused on
our
video
company's
games.
like a huge video game investor now.
No, I'm not. I didn't say that. I said that you're focusing on the video game industry, not just your company. You're a financial analyst focusing on the video game industry.
Yeah, as a personal preference.
Okay. So at work, it's just
get
general.
what I
You're
mean.
focusing on all
Yeah,
industries.
it's general. Yeah, at work,
Okay,
it's general.
I get it.
But in
Okay.
my own spare time, like in my personal investing,
Okay.
it's I feel like it's something I understand the best, right?
That's
Okay.
fine. Giving us a lot of insights on how the industry or the video game like especially with who's that guy again? Can you
Yeah, used Van Droynen. So he actually released a book called what is it? Keep forgetting the title. Level Up. One Up. So it's a good book.
one up? Of course.
Yeah.
Is there
Of
a
course it's called One Up.
similar a similar thing to this, but like the opposite side that I can like read up on too, or you haven't looked into it? Because I want to see both sides. I want to see
Oh,
both
like
sides.
anti acquisition.
Yeah.
Go on
With the-
Twitter, Brian.
No, not just on Twitter. Someone that like has like documentation. Because I want to see
I
both.
like that.
I'm not a
Um,
one-sided kind of guy.
Yeah, maybe the best way to do that would be to see what the regulators, so both the EU and the US FTC, are saying about it.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, I just don't think the regulators understand the industry enough.
Yeah, they don't.
So the most like credible stance against the Activision Blizzard Microsoft deal is like the statements of the FTC and the regulators then.
Yeah, I mean those are the arguments against it, that and Sony's.
Yeah. But I just
And Sony,
want
I
to
guess.
know just another person because I tend to look on both sides rather than sticking to one side.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything.
Okay.
You can just check sometime.
I'm just wondering.
Okay, I'm gonna close out this podcast now with this last question. Personally, guys, what are you guys looking forward to in 2023? the games that are going to be releasing, or even not releasing next year. Let's start with you, Brian.
Oh, let's see. I'm really looking forward to that new Fire Emblem game. I mean, the
Engage.
Oh yeah.
Engage, not just because it's Fire Emblem, it's because the what's it called? The artist who did the character designs is Mika Piazzo. Is a really good pop artist. Fucking love her or him. I'm not too sure. But yeah,
Oh wait,
really good
so
art.
she designed the characters or the whole game? Like, is she
The
like the art
character
director of the whole
designer.
game? Just the characters.
Yeah.
The main characters.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll show you some art. They
Um,
look pretty fucking cool.
Okay. Anything else besides Fire Emblem Engage?
Harry Potter, I guess.
The Harry Potter Legacy.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's not out.
Oh, that's not out yet. It got delayed.
I think it's gonna be released in February.
I am not a turf, okay?
That is a different topic. Okay. What about you, Dylan? What are you looking forward to next year?
So two things. All the Xbox shit.
What
So
do you mean? What do you mean all the
You're
Xbox?
looking forward to the Xbox
okay,
shit?
more of all the ZeniMax / Bethesda shit.
Oh yeah,
right?
that's right.
Starfield is coming out next year, right?
I hope so. Oh my god.
Um, Starfield and maybe any information about the next Elder Scrolls, even a little bit of information. Yeah, all they have to say is, "Yeah, we're making it." I'd be happy. That
What
would make
number
my
would it
year.
be? What is that?
6.
6. Like, you just flash on the screen like Roman numeral 6. That's all you need.
No, they
Yeah,
released the first
it's good
trailer.
enough.
Like,
Oh, they did?
Yeah, but it was just like that bird's eye view of like
Oh.
some mountains, which was,
It's
I
a
guess,
cinematic
supposed to hit
trailer.
the setting. Yeah.
Oh.
do you have any idea what the setting is? Is it still in Tamriel? Not anymore, right? Are they going back?
Well, it should still be set in. Wait, isn't Tamriel? Tamriel's the whole continent, right?
I'm not. Is
Sorry,
it
I never
Yeah,
played
Tamriel
those
the
games.
it's the
country?
whole continent. No,
So okay,
Cyrodiil was the one
Cyrodiil.
that Oblivion was set in.
Oblivions, and then
Yeah.
Morrowind is also a country.
Yeah, in Tamriel,
Okay, in
the
Tamriel.
Dark Elf country.
Okay, so it's in
Um,
Tamriel, but then we don't know the country yet.
Yeah, the people used to think it would be um, that Red Guard country, but because of Redfall, um, but then it turned out Redfall was a different game, right?
Red
Um,
Dawn? You mean Red Dawn?
Red Dawn, isn't it?
Isn't it
Redfall?
Redfall?
No, that vampire shooter game.
Yeah, the
Oh
vampire
wait,
shooter
what are you
game.
talking about?
Vampire
what is-
shooter game by Arcane.
No,
That's
but
also
then
coming out next year, I think.
okay. That's what you're looking forward to too. Okay. Oh, we should play
I
that
don't know.
together.
People thought
Yeah,
it
I'm
was
down.
Yeah. Wait, what
Yeah,
was
I'm down.
it?
No, people thought that when they found like the words like Project Deadfall and like I think
Ah,
Bethesda shit, they thought, oh, maybe this is like relating to the setting of Elder Scrolls 6. Turns out it's
Red
a
Guard.
different game entirely.
Yeah.
And
okay.
the other would be, of course, Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh,
Oh,
yes. Hell yeah.
It's gonna be. Wait,
It's on
isn't that an early access right now?
early access.
Yeah, it's been on early access since
They're
I
releasing
think
it next year now.
August. Yep.
Did you see? Did
They
you see the
finally
collector's
announced it.
edition?
Yeah, I did.
Fucking Mind Flayer figure. I kind of want that so bad.
Yeah, it's gonna be so good. Larian is a very capable developer. They're great.
Yeah. They seem pretty good. I played a bit of the early access.
You did?
Yeah? Well, I didn't.
Well, maybe I can download
Wink,
it.
wink.
Oh. No,
We're
I'll buy
back
it on
now.
Steam. I'll buy it on
So,
Steam.
the first and last episode of this podcast.
Oh wait, we're
I'm gonna
family. We're family,
buy
Dylan,
it.
on Steam.
Yeah, you can use it on my Steam. I mean,
I'll just
I've
use it
only
on
been
your
using Game Pass.
I'm gonna let's see. What am I looking forward to? I want more news on the games that I'm looking forward to, even though they're not gonna be released next year. But first and foremost, they gave Diablo 4 a release date, and I think that's in June. June is gonna be a good month next year. Even though Bobby Kotick is still on board, I really want a new Diablo game na talaga.
Yeah.
And Fire Emblem Engage, of course, because it builds upon one of my favorite games I played during the pandemic. It was Fire Emblem Three Houses, and I think it's kind of in the same vein of it. Did you play Three Hopes, Jed, by the way?
No, you know me. I like turn-based combat.
Yeah,
So
it was not what I expected. Same character, same everything, but then I don't like that. What do you call that game again, Brian?
The Muso series, what do you call it?
Warrior.
The Warrior series, yeah.
Yeah, the Warrior Shoes. I don't like that kind of gameplay.
The Persona 5 one though, I think you should play. That one's
Strikers?
good. Yeah.
Isn't that a sequel?
It's a sequel to the first game. Not Royal.
It's not. But then, because it's missing some characters.
Yeah,
from
missing some
Royal.
characters.
Okay, that makes sense. I'm still gonna play that after I finish Persona 5 Royal. Of course, I'm gonna get it on the Switch. Regarding news, I want more details on the new Fable game. I want more details on Avowed because
Oh, yeah.
you know that's
Yeah.
they only
Obsidian.
showed like a grainy ass
Isn't it?
screenshot. Yeah, it's Obsidian. It's an
Of
Obsidian.
course, I'm excited for this.
It's an Obsidian game, and I want.
Best developer in the world.
I know it's gonna be a long shot, but then Stalker 2 was really interesting to me, even though I didn't play Stalker 1. But then I want some like positive news on that front, especially regarding the developers.
Yeah. Oh,
I
also
will
one game.
support that with all my heart.
Forgot. Yeah. I'm also looking. I forgot. I was also looking forward to Tekken, dude. I want to touch Tekken, like this a demo or
It's gonna
some
be
shit.
released next year.
I don't know
okay,
when it's
just the
released,
demo.
but they had trailers and shit.
What
I
about
wanna
Street
touch
Fighter?
that shit. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna play it. I'm not sure I'm gonna keep playing it. I always buy
You're-
those new fighting games.
You're a Tekken guy, so
Yeah. It
I
ain't
guess-
okay. Yeah.
video game wise, that's it. Maybe Harry Potter too, but then that's not a priority for me.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of lost interest in it, to be honest, because
Gameplay?
like the recent the gameplay trailers. Oh my god,
Yeah.
this is kind of in the same vein as those open world. Even though like the world is smaller, it's still kind of like it still has that open world element. I'm playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla right now,
Yeah.
and I'm so bored already. 5 hours in.
Yeah.
I think
I didn't want to play. I played Odyssey, and I was like, I think I've outgrown
I know.
Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
I don't have the focus. I don't have the attention to be playing these types of games anymore.
Yeah, there's too much, right? Sometimes there's just too much.
It's
So
too big.
you get it now. You
Too
get
big.
my problem when you like look at the map and you don't know what to do anymore.
Yeah, no, it's not like I don't know what to do anymore. It's like there's so much shit to do.
Yeah. That
Oh, what if I do this and then it cancels this? What if I do this and then I lost interest in this? It's hard to keep track of everything, especially if the game is too big.
yeah.
That's why I think one of the positive things I have to say about Cyberpunk is the world is small enough,
Mm.
and that the main quest isn't actually that long. It's not as vast, and the side quests are actually really interesting as well.
yeah.
And it's not those types of Ubisoft type games na it's more like fucking 60% fetch quests and then like
Mm.
going on top of a tower to like discover an area and then collectathons. I fucking hate collectathons.
Synchronize your map.
Synchronizing your map. I've
Escort
outgrown those types of games.
this just to shake up how like backstory is established. Someone's gonna tell it to you while you walk for like 15
Oh my God.
minutes.
That's the
I hate
That's the
walk and
Ubisoft
talks,
Sony
dude.
formula.
I hate walk and talks so much.
And then like sometimes you have to like hold back because
Yeah.
if you reach your destination, the fucking conversation will end already. You can't finish the conversation.
yeah, you gotta wait
That's the
for them.
Sony Ubisoft formula. I hate that.
shit.
It still does that in Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, dude, just give me a cutscene that I can pause or like walk away from.
Walking exposition. Give me a cutscene that I can like check my phone while it's happening.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like Persona.
Yes.
Just let me, press L3 and read what this person said in case I space out, right?
Exactly. Like you can go back. You can back to the logs, like the conversation
Yeah.
log. I guess that's really helpful because it is a visual novel.
Yeah.
Oh, I want a new Persona game, even though it's kind of
That's
like
not gonna happen for.
Isn't it announced? Persona 6?
I don't think
Teased, I
so.
think.
Shit.
Oh, hey, come on.
I don't
See?
think so.
Persona 6 officially teased October 2022.
Holy shit! What the fuck?
How
That's
did we miss
crazy.
that?
I'm not used to having
wait.
Persona games coming out so fast.
What do you mean fast? Isn't Persona 5 like really old?
2015, right?
Yeah, but I
Or
mean,
18?
like when I played Persona 4, I was still playing on the what's it called, PS2, and Persona 5 came out when the PS4 came out. PS5 came out, right?
They skipped PS3.
They skipped PS3.
So that's
Yeah.
2 consoles skipped?
Yeah, I think 2 consoles
Ah.
skipped
Oh wait, are you guys looking forward to playing Persona 3 and 4? By the way,
again.
I don't know.
It's
Oh, wait,
hard.
you played
Those
it
games,
already.
man.
P5 is my first Persona game.
I want to check it out.
So looking at P4, I'm like, yo, why are we chibi, dude?
Because
It's
I mean,
the
that's all they could
opposite of
handle.
Persona 5 because everyone is so long in Persona 5. Everyone is long and skinny in Persona 5.
yeah, everyone. Goddamn.
That's true. Except Morgana.
Except Morgana.
Those games are good though, and Persona 4 Golden really did improve a lot of stuff. Before you didn't have skill cards, but now they included skill cards.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Does it still play the same kind of?
Yeah, kinda.
It's
Still a
not. It's
Persona
not just
game.
as stylish.
It's
How's the
it's its
soundtrack?
own kind of style. Each game has its own kind of style.
What about the soundtrack of Persona 4? Still jazzy?
I like it. No, it's different each Persona. Persona 3 is hip hop. Like Persona 4 is like disco.
Imham.
Well, not really disco. It's like
Ah.
Persona 4 is like it's not like the same kind of jazzy as Persona 5.
Disco jazz, maybe. Okay. Yeah, I think it's time to wrap this episode up now, Brian. What do you
Okay,
guys
are we
think?
gonna do any call, like what's it called? Like remember to subscribe or some shit?
Ah, yeah, the CTAs. Okay, you can follow this podcast live on Twitch/2zombie, my channel. At the moment, we're planning on migrating everything to a different channel, but you can catch the recap on YouTube again in my channel, 2zombie. But then, if ever this series gets traction, we're gonna have a separate channel. Of course, we're gonna have a separate channel for this. Also, if you want, you can watch my stream on Twitch. No, I'm gonna start streaming on YouTube. I don't want to be on Twitch. But yeah, if you want to see me stream some games, we can chat it up. You can maybe invite people to our Discord. You can go. You can join us in the Lazy Quest podcast. Link. I'll link the link to the server.
Yeah.
And if you want to follow these guys, their tags are on the screen right now. Follow Jet on Steam, Xbox Game Pass. Brian, you can follow him on Steam on Game Pass, and then like we have our own socials, which I will link in the description. So, thank you for joining us in our first episode. Thank you for bearing with us in our first episode. Thank you, Dylan, for joining us. We'll be happy to have you back to talk more about the video game industry. Yeah. See you guys.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna see you.
Thank you. Are we off?